Hey guys, Hamsterwheel here, and today I'm checking out Whitemane's fresh Wrath of the Lich King private server because at first glance I thought their project was very original, and since there's not enough fresh Wrath servers out there, I decided to join the fresh hype train and check it out as well. Actually, the real reason I wanted to mess around here was because some of my buddies rolled here as well, and I'll never skip an opportunity to play together with some other well-cultured intellectuals. Which also meant I had to play Alliance. Man, I feel dirty just saying that. Anyway, let's jump right into it. So, Whitemane is a 3.3.5 Wrath of the Lich King private server with a 5 times XP rate, 3 times rate for reputation and professions until you hit 375 skill with professions, and until you hit Wrath of the Lich King content. So basically 3 times rate from vanilla and TBC, and then 1 times rate for Wrath of the Lich King, apart from the XP rate, which is 5 times rate from 1 to 80 all the way. And it's still fresh, as Ulduar, the best raid in the whole damn world, has yet to be released. I'll leave a link in the description below this video for a full list of features that Whitemane has. So my time leveling in Northshire was quite nice, and I realized after months of playing Classic just how incredibly easy it was to level on a Wrath of the Lich King core. Mobs die without a sweat, and I barely use any mana. I was initially worried that because this was a high rate server, I'd be pretty much broke all the time while leveling and not being able to afford even things like spells. Luckily, Whitemane has thought of that, and they instantly give you your new spells for free as soon as you ding, so I guess that's a good way to work around the cost of spells. At the beginning, I also got an instant invite to join the world chat, but if you got all excited thinking you can yell obscenities right as you log in, then please hold on to your horses, as it takes about 10 levels or so before you can start to talk in world chat or even talk to other people for that matter. A little annoying, but understandable, as you have to combat spammers and gold sellers in some way or form. And well, since it's 5 times XP rate, you'll get to that level in no time at all. When I got to Westfold, I started to prepare myself for the packs of multiple Defias mobs. Only to be surprised, because it looks like the whole aggro link between mobs doesn't seem to work here all that well, with single pulls that should very obviously be followed by other mobs, only resulting in me actually pulling a single mob from a pack of 3 standing very close to each other. A little later, and I noticed a unique feature of this server, which is that you can change your racials to a different race as long as it's a race that can also be the same class that you are. So basically, I, as a human mage, am able to switch to a troll to get berserking, which is pretty sweet in PvE. Though keep in mind that you can only do it once, and you have to go to Dalaran to do so. Luckily, this friendly mage called Aiko ported me to Dalaran, and bam, I am now a human mage with troll racials. Another thing I noticed was the fact that the respawn time of mobs here is very fast, which is very convenient if you're looking to kill a certain quest mob. But the rate was so fast that in several occasions I got overwhelmed by mobs respawning too fast, resulting in me having to run like hell or get killed. Of course, one thing that's always the problem with a high rate server is that you do outgear yourself, so just remember to take it down a notch and not go all Rambo on the mobs, as you'll find yourself staring at the spirit healer before you know it. Also during Red Ridge I got to see some next gen pathfinding. Oh no, wait, I meant stock Trinity Core pathfinding. Like, seriously, this in 2021? Yeah. Now when someone's banned, you can see it instantly pop up in your chat, and it seems they're quite sharp and fast with the bot bans, which some multi-billion-dollar company could take note of. At level 20 you also get your mount skill for free, but not the mount, so be sure to have at least a little bit of money in your bags to afford that. Oh yeah, when I was leveling it was also the Love in the Air event, so as a crappy level 24 mage, I decided to get an extra 90 spell power and 7 intellect. Yeah, as if leveling on a Wrath server alone wasn't easy enough, I took what is the equivalent of steroids and zerged even harder through the content. And of course, since this was a private server, I did experience the occasional disconnect like here. It happened after like 5 hours of playtime, so we'll see if this happens more often. Little later down the line, in my 40s, I discovered the first bugged quest, which was Stranglethorn Fever, where no matter what, I couldn't talk to the troll in the cave. Bit of a shame, as that quest gives a decent cloak and a lot of experience. Luckily, the server had a restart shortly after, and when I logged back in, the quest worked just fine. At this moment, the gold sellers started to get extra vicious with them spamming world chat, but I have to say that they were banned from world chat in no time at all. We're talking less than 5 seconds of some staff member muting them in world chat, so again, when it comes to dealing with bots and gold sellers, it really seems like they handle lightning fast and are on top of the bans at all time, which is definitely a big plus in my book. So let's fast forward a bit to Burning Crusade content. In Hellfire Peninsula, some quests like the scrap, wood and metal quest flew by because of the fast respawn times. And because Frost in Wrath of the Lich King is even more OP at higher level, I could kill mobs without breaking even a sweat. And well, the TBC content was more of the same. Most content worked just fine, with sometimes some weird pathfinding, but overall a very solid experience. But, of course, the content that really matters is the Wrath of the Lich King content. I mean, why else would they give you a massive 5 times XP boost? So you can enjoy the expansion's content much quicker. And well, the levels flew by, and by this time Whitemane released an update, which contained double XP for 1 weekend, and also they released a dedicated not safe for work chat channel where literally anything goes. No, really, there are no rules to what you can say here, including, well, a word that PewDiePie once used. Later down the line, in my late 70s, I went to Storm Peak to get the last few levels, and unfortunately one of the quests of the missing Bronzebeard quest chain was undoable because there were 2 Iron Watchers, not 1, making it unable to complete by myself. I have no idea why there are 2 of them, but it was definitely annoying. And the annoyance continued with me getting dismounted out of nowhere during the Argent Crusade quest multiple times, for again no reason at all, which turned this quest into quite a headache. Then 1 minute later in the next quest, I was stuck. Can't mount, can't run, can't Hearthstone, can't teleport. Yeah, great job Whitemane. But fortunately after 2 more quests I hit level 80. So overall the leveling experience was pretty nice, it's just that the last couple of levels were definitely not enjoyable, with me hitting multiple dead ends due to bugs like the few examples I showed in this video. So now let's see if I can find a dungeon and do some endgame content. And after 8 minutes of waiting I got myself into a normal dungeon. Not too bad considering I'm a DPS, which means you always spend longer in the queue. And the dungeons were pretty good, all seen in order, and on average the queue time even for a DPS like me wasn't bad at all. What's also nice is that because this is still a fresh Wrath server, the random heroics aren't that much of a pushover. I mean, it's still Wrath of the Lich King, so they're not exactly very hard, but since everyone is still in new gear and isn't wearing ICC heroic items, it does offer at least a little bit of a challenge instead of them being a total face roll. I also did a little bit of PvP just to check that out, and the battlegrounds worked accordingly, though honestly there's not much that can go wrong here, and even on the lower quality servers so to say, the battlegrounds itself always worked pretty good at the very least. Also Wintergrasp, which does take a bit more effort to work because it has buildings and vehicles, worked just fine. And as far as I can tell, Arena seems quite active too, which is good. So it seems that overall you can definitely get your PvP fix here, so that's another plus for this server. So I think I'll stop the video here and give you my thoughts so far. So, what is my verdict of Whitemane's Wrath of the Lich King private server? Well, I think it is a good foundation, but there's still some work to be done. The leveling content overall was pretty good, there's a good amount of people playing here, it does have some unique features to make it stand out from the rest, the dungeon content is working nicely, and after talking to a few people, it seems the raid content is also up to snuff. They also cracked down on gold sellers and bots really fast, which like I said before is a big plus. My biggest problem right now is just some of the quests that are bugged, which can lead to some frustration, but overall I'd say that this private server is definitely not too shabby. So who is this server for? Well, if you're looking for a true Blizz-like Wrath server, then this is obviously not your cup of tea with its higher rates, custom features and whatnot. However, if you're someone that's looking for the latest fresh Wrath server, you want to get to max level content quickly, and you like the added features, then I'd say definitely give the server a shot. There's enough people playing to jump into PvE or PvE content, and most of the stuff here that I found is working quite nicely. So there you go folks, my thoughts so far on the new Whitemane Wrath of the Lich King server. As always, I want to thank you for watching this video. I'm Hamsterwheel and have a good one.